confrontations in Africa are as intense as the battle between lions and African buffalo. On the savannah, every encounter is a line between life and death. Lions stalk in silence, coordinating perfectly to take down prey that can weigh over a ton. But buffalo are not easily subdued. They stand together in herds, launching counterattacks with sharp horns and overwhelming strength, often turning hunters into the hunted. Heart-stopping chases, fierce counterattacks, and life-or-death moments reveal the brutal survival instincts of both species. This is not just a hunt. It is a struggle for survival on a savannah that shows no mercy. The African savanna stretches across vast grasslands dotted with shrubs and seasonal waterholes. It is home to hundreds of species, from antelopes and zebras to elephants, rhinos, and some of the world's most formidable predators. During the dry season, water and food become increasingly scarce. Vast herds gather around the remaining rivers and waterholes, creating ideal opportunities for predators. In this unforgiving landscape, lions reign as apex hunters, while African buffalo rank among the most dangerous prey they will ever challenge. African buffalo are among the most formidable animals on the continent. Adult bulls can weigh between 1,100 and more than 2,000 pounds. Their massive bodies, muscular build, and heavy horns, fused into a solid shield known as the boss, allow them to withstand attacks from even the most powerful predators. Buffalo live in herds that can number from dozens to several hundred individuals. Cows and calves remain protected at the center of the herd, while stronger adults guard the outer edges. A female usually gives birth to a single calf after an 11-month gestation, and the newborn is fiercely protected by the entire herd, from lions, hyenas, and crocodiles. Unlike many other herbivores, buffalo rarely abandon one of their own. When a herd member is threatened, dozens of adults may charge back into the fight. Mature bulls often confront predators head-on, making buffalo one of the few prey species capable of turning a hunt into a deadly counterattack. For lions, every assault on a buffalo herd is a calculated gamble. Hidden among the surrounding bushes, a pride of lions patiently watches every movement of the herd, searching for the slightest sign of weakness. Lions are the only truly social cats, living in prides that cooperate to survive. Adult males can weigh up to 550 pounds, armed with powerful jaws, razor-sharp claws, and immense muscular strength, making them among Africa's most dominant predators. A typical pride consists of related lionesses, their cubs, and one or more adult males. While the males defend the pride's territory against rivals, the lionesses are responsible for most hunts. Through exceptional teamwork, they are capable of bringing down prey many times their own size, including zebras, wildebeest, and even buffalo. Each lioness usually gives birth to 1 to 4 cubs after a gestation period of about 110 days. Unlike most big cats, lionesses often raise their cubs together, nursing and protecting one another's young. This cooperative behavior greatly improves the survival of the next generation. To endure the harsh climate of the savannah, lions spend much of the hottest part of the day resting. They become most active during the cool hours of dawn, dusk, and throughout the night when darkness gives them the greatest advantage. Their remarkable coordination allows the pride to hunt prey far larger and stronger than any single lion could overcome alone. Today, every eye in the pride is fixed on the buffalo herd ahead. Among the tightly packed animals, one buffalo begins to lag behind. It drifts only a short distance from the protection of the herd, but for the waiting lions, that small mistake may be all the opportunity they need. The lionesses immediately noticed the lone buffalo drifting away from the herd. Lowering their bodies close to the ground, they disappeared into the golden grass. Every step was slow, deliberate, and almost silent. With each passing second, the distance between predator and prey grew shorter. The buffalo remained unaware of the danger creeping ever closer. The hunt was approaching its decisive moment. Without warning, a lioness exploded from the cover of the bushes. The rest of the pride accelerated at the same instant, launching a coordinated attack. Sensing the ambush, the buffalo bolted forward, its powerful hooves pounding across the savannah. Moments later, the rest of the herd came rushing back, their pounding hooves shaking the ground. Faced with dozens of enraged buffalo, the pride recognized the odds had shifted. One by one, the lionesses abandoned the attack and retreated into the tall grass. On the African savannah, survival is not determined by strength alone. Unity can be an equally powerful weapon. The confrontation between lions and buffalo is only one chapter in the much larger story of Africa's wildlife. Across this vast landscape, countless species have evolved different strategies to survive. Some depend on extraordinary speed, others on immense strength, sharp senses, or the protection of living in large social groups. While buffalo rely on their collective power to repel predators, zebras survive through speed, vigilance, and the confusion created by moving together as a herd. Zebras are among the most common prey for lions, hyenas, and crocodiles throughout the African savannah. Their striking black and white stripes are more than a beautiful pattern. Every zebra has a unique arrangement. When hundreds of animals run together, the shifting stripes create a dazzling visual illusion that makes it difficult for predators to isolate a single target. Highly social by nature, zebras travel in herds ranging from a few dozen to several hundred individuals as they search for fresh grazing grounds and reliable water sources. With many pairs of eyes scanning the landscape, danger is often detected long before predators come within striking distance. A female zebra carries her foal for approximately 13 months and usually gives birth to a single offspring. Within minutes of birth, the newborn is able to stand, and before long, it is running alongside its mother. This remarkable ability is essential, allowing the foal to keep pace with the herd and greatly increasing its chances of surviving in one of the world's most dangerous ecosystems. A lone zebra is an easy target for predators. But when hundreds move together as a single herd, selecting one individual becomes a far greater challenge. Their synchronized movement creates confusion, making it difficult for even experienced hunters to focus on a single victim. Although zebras cannot match the sheer strength of African buffalo, they possess another formidable defense. Their muscular hind legs can deliver devastating kicks, capable of breaking bones or seriously injuring an attacker. For lions and hyenas alike, a careless approach can quickly become a painful mistake. Yet among Africa's great herbivores, perhaps none gamble with their lives more than the wildebeest. Every year, more than 1.5 million wildebeest begin one of the greatest wildlife migrations on Earth, traveling across the vast Serengeti and Masai Mara ecosystems. Driven by seasonal rains, fresh grazing, and instincts refined over thousands of generations, they undertake an epic journey spanning hundreds of miles. Gathering in enormous herds that often number in the tens of thousands, they move across the plains in an endless procession. Male wildebeest are armed with sturdy, curved horns, while newborn calves can stand and follow their mothers within minutes of birth. This remarkable adaptation is essential because falling behind the herd, even briefly, can mean certain death. Their annual migration stretches for hundreds of miles as they relentlessly search for fresh grass and reliable water sources. But this journey is anything but safe. Across the open plains, lions and hyenas shadow every movement of the migrating herds. At river crossings, enormous Nile crocodiles lie motionless beneath the murky water, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Migration is far more than a search for food. It is one of nature's greatest endurance tests, where only the strongest, the healthiest, and the luckiest survive to complete the journey. Beyond these endless migrations, the African savannah is also home to gentle giants whose appearance conceals extraordinary power. Giraffes are the tallest land animals on Earth. Adults can reach heights of nearly 18 feet and weigh around 4,200 pounds. Their exceptionally long necks, towering legs, and beautifully patterned coats make them among Africa's most recognizable species. Like fingerprints, no two giraffes share exactly the same pattern. Their remarkable height allows them to browse leaves high in acacia trees, beyond the reach of most other herbivores. Elevated far above the grasslands, their keen eyesight also enables them to detect approaching danger from great distances, providing an early warning for both themselves and other nearby animals. Giraffes typically live in loose herds that roam continuously in search of fresh vegetation. Females carry a single calf for approximately 15 months before giving birth. Within only a few hours, the newborn is already standing and following its mother, an essential adaptation in a landscape where predators are never far away. Despite their calm and graceful appearance, giraffes are far from defenseless. When cornered, they can unleash astonishingly powerful kicks with their long legs, blows capable of breaking bones or even killing a lion. Few predators are willing to risk confronting a healthy adult giraffe. For giraffes, height is more than an advantage for feeding. It provides an elevated view of the surrounding landscape, improving their ability to detect threats and survive in the vast African savannah. Towering above even giraffes in sheer mass stands another giant, the African elephant. The largest land animal on Earth, an adult African elephant can stand up to 13 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh anywhere from 8,000 to well over 13,000 pounds. Its enormous ears, muscular trunk, and impressive curved tusks make it one of the planet's most iconic animals. The trunk is an extraordinary multi-purpose organ, used for breathing, drinking, gathering food, manipulating objects, communicating with other elephants, and even expressing emotion. Elephants are among the most intelligent and socially complex animals on Earth. They live in close-knit family herds, led by the oldest and most experienced female, known as the matriarch. Her remarkable memory guides the herd to water sources, feeding grounds, and safe migration routes, knowledge that is essential for survival during the harsh dry season. Female elephants have the longest gestation period of any land mammal, approximately 22 months. They usually give birth to a single calf, which is immediately surrounded by the protection of its mother and the entire herd. Adult females cooperate in caring for the newborn, helping it stand, walk, and learn the skills needed to survive. Thanks to their immense size, intelligence, and extraordinary social bonds, healthy adult elephants have virtually no natural predators in the African savannah. Remain vulnerable if they become separated from the herd. Lions may occasionally prey on isolated elephant calves, but only when the opportunity is favorable. The combination of intelligence, cooperation, and overwhelming strength has made African elephants one of the most successful large mammals on the continent. Yet, even among Africa's giants, another heavily armored survivor commands respect: the rhinoceros. Rhinos are among the largest land mammals in Africa. Depending on the species, adults can weigh between 3,000 and more than 5,000 pounds and measure up to 13 feet in length. Their massive bodies, thick armor-like skin, and powerful horns make them one of the most formidable herbivores on the savannah. Although their eyesight is relatively poor, rhinos compensate with exceptional hearing and an acute sense of smell, allowing them to detect danger long before they can see it. Most rhinos are solitary animals, with the exception of mothers raising their calves. Female rhinos carry a single calf for approximately 15 to 16 months before giving birth. The young remain with their mothers for several years, learning where to find food and water, while avoiding the many dangers of the African wilderness. When threatened, a rhinoceros can charge at speeds approaching 35 miles per hour. Combining tremendous body mass with a powerful horn, such a charge is capable of driving away almost any opponent. Even lions rarely challenge a healthy adult rhino, preferring to avoid the risk of serious injury. Across the African savannah, the rhinoceros has become a symbol of resilience, strength, and survival in one of the world's harshest environments. Leaving the open grasslands behind, another giant dominates an entirely different realm, the rivers and lakes of Africa. For hippopotamuses, water is far more than a place to escape the heat, a domain they will defend with extraordinary aggression. During the day, hippos spend most of their time submerged in rivers and lakes, keeping their massive bodies cool beneath the surface. Despite their slow and clumsy appearance, hippos are among the most dangerous large mammals in Africa. Adults typically weigh between 3,300 and more than 6,000 pounds. Their nearly hairless skin, barrel-shaped bodies, and enormous heads conceal astonishing power. Their jaws can open to nearly 180 degrees, exposing tusk-like canine teeth that can exceed 20 inches in length. Driven by incredibly powerful jaw muscles, a single bite is capable of crushing bones with ease. As darkness falls, hippos emerge from the water and travel several miles across the savannah to graze on grass. Although they are herbivores, they remain fiercely territorial, especially within rivers and pools, where they spend the daylight hours. Adult males aggressively defend their stretches of water from rivals. Violent confrontations between bulls are common, with massive jaws and razor-sharp tusks inflicting devastating wounds. Hippos will also confront crocodiles, elephants, boats, or any animal they perceive as a threat to their territory. Their combination of enormous size, explosive speed, and territorial aggression makes the hippopotamus one of the most formidable and unpredictable animals in the African wilderness. Even lions generally avoid direct confrontations with healthy adult hippos, recognizing that the risk far outweighs any potential reward. Hippos often give birth beneath the water, a remarkable adaptation that protects their vulnerable young. From the moment they enter the world, newborn calves instinctively know how to rise to the surface, take their first breaths, and remain close to their mothers during the early stages of life. The mother is fiercely protective, standing between her calf and any potential threat that dares to approach. In rivers and lakes, even powerful predators such as crocodiles must exercise caution when entering the territory of a fully grown hippopotamus. For these massive animals, water is not simply a refuge from the heat, it is their domain, a territory they will defend with overwhelming aggression. If you enjoy stories of wildlife survival, subscribe to the channel and continue exploring the most intense battles and extraordinary adaptations found in nature. But beyond the rivers and wetlands, the rules of survival across the open savanna become entirely different. African wild dogs may not possess the size of lions or the brute strength of hyenas, yet they rank among Africa's most successful predators. Their secret does not lie in individual power, but in remarkable cooperation. Their coats display a unique combination of black, brown, and white patterns, with no two individuals looking exactly alike. Their oversized ears provide exceptional hearing, allowing them to detect subtle sounds from great distances across the grasslands. An adult African wild dog typically weighs around 40 pounds, but its smaller body gives it incredible endurance and agility. Their greatest weapon is teamwork. The entire pack works together during a hunt, chasing prey relentlessly and taking turns applying pressure until the target becomes exhausted. However, these highly efficient hunters also face powerful enemies. Lions often attack wild dogs to eliminate competition, while spotted hyenas frequently steal their hard-earned kills. Young individuals or those separated from the pack may also fall victim to leopards. To survive in this unforgiving environment, every member must remain alert, constantly moving, and relying on the strength of the group. Communication is the foundation of their society. Through vocal calls, body movements, and social bonds, they coordinate hunts, protect their young, and support one another. Among African wild dogs, true power does not belong to a single individual. It belongs to the unity of the entire pack. The African savanna stretches beneath a relentless sun, where dry winds sweep clouds of dust across endless golden grasslands reaching toward the horizon. In this harsh world, every creature must remain constantly vigilant. Herds of antelope, zebras, wildebeest, and countless other herbivores travel across the plains in search of food, water, and safety. From a distance, the savanna may appear peaceful, but beneath that calm surface lies a world of constant struggle, where survival depends on awareness, speed, and instinct. Hidden among tall grasses, beneath scattered trees, or along the edges of unsuspecting herds, predators patiently watch. Every movement can reveal an opportunity, Every moment of weakness can become an invitation for danger to strike. Among these hunters, cheetahs occupy a unique place. They are not the largest predators of the savannah. They do not possess the crushing power of a lion or the overwhelming strength of a leopard. They cannot rely on camouflage and stealth like leopards, nor do they hunt through relentless teamwork like African wild dogs. Instead, the cheetah has evolved a different weapon: extraordinary speed. When a cheetah begins its pursuit, the hunt becomes a race against time. In just a few seconds, everything is decided. Either the cheetah catches its prey, or the opportunity disappears into the endless grasslands. To understand how cheetahs survive in this harsh environment, we must first look at the extraordinary design of their own bodies. An adult cheetah typically weighs between 75 and 125 pounds, making it far smaller than powerful predators such as lions or leopards. Unlike them, cheetahs are not built for direct confrontation. Their survival does not depend on strength, but on a body perfectly adapted for one purpose: explosive speed. With a slender frame that reduces air resistance, long, powerful legs, and a lightweight build, the cheetah can accelerate across open ground with incredible efficiency. Its deep chest houses a large heart and powerful lungs, allowing the body to operate at extreme levels when the chase begins. Most remarkable is its flexible spine, which stretches and contracts with every stride, allowing each leap to cover more than 20 feet. Over short distances, a cheetah can reach speeds of around 60 to 70 miles per hour, making it the fastest land animal on Earth. But speed alone is not enough. Its long tail acts like a rudder, helping it maintain balance and change direction instantly when prey suddenly turns. Every movement must be precise, because a single mistake can mean the difference between a successful hunt and an empty stomach. Unlike other predators that can rely on endurance or power, cheetahs have only a brief window of opportunity. Their bodies can maintain maximum speed for only around 20 to 30 seconds before overheating and exhaustion begin to take over. Therefore, every hunt requires patience, calculation, and perfect timing. On the African savannah, cheetahs do not win through brute force. They survive through distance, strategy, and the unmatched power of speed. gazelle is one of the cheetah's most common prey, but familiarity does not make the hunt easy. An adult gazelle usually weighs between 40 and 80 pounds with a lightweight body, long legs, and lightning-fast reflexes that allow it to move effortlessly across vast grasslands. When danger appears, it can accelerate to nearly 50 miles per hour, but its greatest defense is not simply speed. It is agility. A gazelle can suddenly change direction, turning sharply from one side to another in a matter of seconds. These unpredictable movements disrupt the predator's rhythm, forcing the cheetah to spend more energy and reducing its chances of getting close enough for the final attack. They also rarely move alone. By traveling in groups, gazelles increase their ability to detect danger. The slightest movement, a raised head, or a sudden reaction from one individual can send the entire herd running within moments. Gazelles may not possess the massive size of wildebeest or the powerful defenses of buffalo, but they have evolved their own survival weapons: awareness, reflexes, and speed. The chase between a cheetah and a gazelle is not simply a battle between predator and prey. It is a contest between two creatures born to run. One must finish the hunt within seconds, while the other only needs to survive the first critical moments to escape. And that is what makes every encounter on the African savannah so intense. Amid the dry grasslands, the cheetah lowers its body and silently moves toward the gazelles grazing peacefully ahead. It does not rush forward immediately, because a successful hunt requires far more than speed. It demands patience, careful calculation, and the ability to choose the perfect moment to strike. Suddenly, the cheetah explodes from the grass, sending the herd into panic. It accelerates with incredible force, locking onto a single target, as the gazelles scatter in every direction. The chosen prey twists and turns desperately, attempting to break away, but the cheetah remains close. Its long tail acts as a powerful stabilizer, allowing rapid changes in direction, while its semi-retracted claws provide the grip needed to maintain control at extreme speeds. The distance between predator and prey continues to shrink. This is not a battle of strength, but a brief and decisive race where a single mistake can change the fate of both animals. The chase may last only moments, but within those seconds lies the difference between survival and failure. The pursuit between cheetah and gazelle is over almost as quickly as it begins, yet every movement carries enormous consequences. The gazelle relies on sudden turns and unpredictable escapes, while the cheetah attempts to close the gap with precise movements and perfectly timed strikes. Whether successful or unsuccessful, every chase demands a tremendous amount of energy. On the African savanna, the danger does not end when the prey falls. The scent of fresh meat can quickly attract unwanted rivals, from spotted hyenas and lions to circling vultures waiting for an opportunity. A failed hunt means that all the effort and energy spent chasing becomes almost meaningless. The cheetah may be left standing alone in the grass, breathing heavily, recovering its strength, and waiting for another chance. For this fastest predator on Earth, every hunt is a dangerous gamble. Unlike lions, cheetahs do not possess overwhelming power, and they cannot defend their kills for long against stronger competitors. Their greatest weapons are precision, timing, and extraordinary speed. If the moment is missed, the opportunity disappears instantly. But when every movement is perfectly executed, a few brief seconds can determine the outcome of an entire meal. After the dramatic chase between cheetah and gazelle, the African savanna slowly becomes quiet again. Yet on this unforgiving land, silence does not always mean safety. Survival does not belong only to the strongest or the fastest. Some creatures succeed through completely different strategies, relying on endurance, intelligence, and unique adaptations. Among them is the warthog, an animal that rarely appears as a symbol of power. With its short legs, large head, and awkward-looking movements, it seems almost out of place among the swift predators and graceful herbivores of the savanna. Its face is marked by prominent bumps on both sides, a feature that gives this unusual animal its name. But in nature, even the strangest traits often serve an important purpose. These facial structures help protect the warthog during fights, especially among males competing for territory and mates. Behind its unusual appearance lies a remarkably resilient survivor. Adult warthogs can weigh between 110 and over 300 pounds, carrying a pair of curved tusks capable of inflicting serious damage. These weapons are enough to make many predators think twice before attacking. When threatened or cornered, a warthog does not simply run away. It can turn and charge directly toward danger, using its powerful head and sharp tusks as a last line of defense. In the harsh world of the African savanna, appearances can often be deceiving, and the warthog is living proof that a clumsy appearance does not mean weakness. Beneath its unusual shape and awkward movements lies a surprisingly resilient survivor. But to endure in this unforgiving environment, warthogs need far more than their powerful tusks. They must remain alert every moment because danger can appear without warning. Warthogs leave the safety of their burrows to search for food. They feed on grasses, roots, tubers, fallen fruits, and other sources of nutrition scattered across the dry landscape. One of the most recognizable sights is a warthog kneeling on its front legs while grazing. Although this posture may appear strange, it allows them to reach vegetation closer to the ground and feed more efficiently. However, on On the African savanna, even a simple meal can become a dangerous moment. A few seconds of distraction are enough for a predator to close in. From the shadows of the bushes, leopards silently observe. Behind them, African wild dogs may begin to coordinate their approach. And hidden among the golden grass, a lioness can slowly reduce the distance before the warthog even realizes it has become a target. For these animals, eating is never a peaceful activity. Their ears constantly rotate, detecting even the slightest unfamiliar sound. Their powerful sense of smell analyzes every change in the wind, while their sharp eyes scan the edges of the grassland for any suspicious movement. For a warthog, every bite of food comes with the risk of becoming someone else's meal. As the sun begins to sink toward the horizon, the most important place for a warthog is no longer the open grassland, but the safety of its burrow. These animals often use abandoned underground shelters to escape the intense heat of the day and protect themselves from predators during the night. Their defensive strategy is remarkably effective. When retreating into a burrow, warthogs enter backward, keeping their head and powerful tusks facing outward toward the entrance. Any predator attempting to follow them would be forced to confront their strongest weapons at close range. The burrow is even more important, providing a protected refuge where her young can remain safe during the vulnerable first weeks of life. In the harsh environment of the savannah, young animals are always among the most vulnerable. Small, inexperienced, and unable to defend themselves, they often become the easiest targets for predators. During the late afternoon, a mother warthog carefully leads her piglets out from their shelter to search for food. The young follow closely behind, unaware that danger may already be watching. At the edge of the bushes, a predator remains completely still, observing every movement. It waits patiently for the perfect moment to strike. In the savannah, survival often depends not only on strength or speed, but on who can remain unseen for the longest time. When danger appears, warthogs can reach speeds of nearly 30 miles per hour. The mother leads her offspring through the tall grass, while her raised tail serves as a visible signal, helping the young stay connected and follow her path during the escape. Behind them, the cheetah focuses on the smallest piglet that has begun to fall behind the group. When the young one stumbles, the mother immediately turns around to shield her offspring from the approaching predator. With her head lowered and her sharp tusks pointing forward, the mother warthog stands her ground. Her fearless defense forces the cheetah to hesitate. Even a minor injury can become a serious threat, because survival in the wild depends on remaining strong enough to hunt another day. Amid the endless grasslands of the Serengeti, zebras emerge as symbols of the delicate balance between beauty and survival. Their striking black and white stripes create a breathtaking contrast against the golden savanna, but they are far more than a beautiful pattern. These unique markings are part of their survival strategy, helping confuse predators when the herd moves together. With their steady movements and constant vigilance, zebras represent a species that has survived millions of years of evolution without sharp claws, powerful jaws, or overwhelming strength. Instead, they rely on endurance, awareness, speed, and cooperation to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Across the African savanna, zebras must constantly face threats from some of nature's most dangerous hunters. Predators wait silently among the grass, hide near water sources, and search for moments of weakness. Yet zebras are not helpless prey. They are resilient survivors, shaped by generations of adaptation and determination in the endless struggle for life. Among their greatest enemies is the lion, one of Africa's most dominant predators. With muscular bodies, explosive acceleration, and highly developed hunting strategies, lions often rely on patience and teamwork. They remain hidden in dense vegetation, carefully tracking their targets before launching coordinated attacks. Rather than chasing every individual, lions usually focus on the vulnerable members of the herd, the young, the injured, or those separated from the group. A single moment of distraction can be enough for a predator to turn an opportunity into a successful hunt. Equally dangerous are spotted hyenas, intelligent and relentless predators known for their endurance and opportunistic nature. And beneath the surface of rivers, the Nile crocodile waits as a silent nightmare whenever zebras must cross waterways during their seasonal migrations. The natural world has always followed a harsh but necessary balance. Every species must find its own path between hunting, escaping, and surviving unexpected dangers. Some will succeed, while others will fall, but every struggle plays an essential role in maintaining the endless cycle of life. If you enjoy stories of survival in the animal kingdom, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to follow more incredible journeys into the wild. The tree-climbing lions of Ishasha live in close-knit family groups, typically made up of one or two dominant males, several lionesses, and a growing generation of playful cubs. What truly sets these prides apart is the role of the fathers. Across much of Africa, male lions lead turbulent lives, constantly challenged by rivals and often driven from their territories. But in Uganda, the story unfolds differently. Here, dominant males remain with their families for years, investing their strength not only in defending territory, but also in protecting the pride itself. They roam less, fight less frequently, and provide an unusual level of stability rarely seen elsewhere on the continent. As a result, Uganda's lions experience one of the lowest rates of male turnover anywhere in East Africa. Fewer violent takeovers mean fewer deadly conflicts and a more secure environment for raising cubs. Yet this peaceful family life comes at a cost to another master predator. As lions increasingly claim the safety of the treetops, the elusive leopard is being forced to surrender its most valuable refuge. For generations, leopards relied on towering acacias and giant fig trees to conceal themselves and cache their kills beyond the reach of scavengers. But now those same branches are occupied by lions. To survive, the leopard has been forced to rewrite its entire strategy. Rather than climbing toward the canopy, it melts into dense undergrowth. It travels beneath the cover of darkness, avoiding open ground whenever possible, and hides its prey where few predators would ever think to search. In this increasingly contested landscape, survival is no longer determined by strength alone. A true apex predator is not simply the one that can overpower its prey, but the one that knows when to remain unseen. Because whenever lions and leopards cross paths, the outcome is rarely in doubt. Even a single lioness possesses enough power to overwhelm a fully grown male leopard. Faced with such overwhelming odds, direct confrontation is never an option. The leopard waits. Patient, silent, invisible. Hunger, however, leaves no room for hesitation. As darkness settles across western Uganda, the hunt begins. The sun disappears behind the rugged Rwenzori Mountains, whose towering peaks form the natural frontier between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These ancient mountains shelter one of Africa's richest ecosystems, home to an astonishing diversity of wildlife, including more than 70 species of nocturnal predators. With the last traces of daylight fading from the sky, the rhythm of the savannah changes. The daytime chorus falls silent. In its place come distant mating calls, cautious footsteps hidden in the grass, and the near imperceptible movements of hunters emerging from the darkness. The night now belongs to the predators. As darkness settles over Uganda, the landscape undergoes a remarkable transformation. A different world awakens. For the great feline predators, this is the hour they were built for. Hidden behind each retina lies a remarkable reflective layer known as the tapetum lucidum, a biological mirror that bounces incoming light back through the eye, dramatically enhancing vision in near total darkness. While most of the savannah struggles to see, the hunters see almost everything. The disciplined formations that held firm beneath the sun begin to unravel under the cover of night. Confusion spreads, and even the strongest herd becomes vulnerable. For every predator, this fleeting window of darkness is priceless. By dawn, the advantage will disappear. As sunlight floods the plains once again, herbivores regain their sharp vision. Morning mist dissolves into the warming air, and birdsong signals that the night's hunters must retreat. In the African wilderness, survival is measured not only by strength, but by timing. Among the open grasslands roams one of Uganda's most iconic antelope, the Uganda kobe, the nation's symbolic hoofed mammal and a close relative of the impala. Living in large herds, these graceful antelope rely on extraordinary speed, agility, and constant vigilance to evade predators. But today, fortune favors the hunter. Two rival males are locked in an intense territorial battle. Their antlers intertwine as each struggles for dominance, neither willing to surrender. In their determination to defeat one another, they forget the one enemy that truly matters. Unable to break free and unable to flee, they have become easy targets. Hidden nearby, the leopard waits. It has learned that patience often kills more effectively than speed. Within seconds, the contest is over. Instinct immediately takes over. Every leopard knows that making the kill is only half the battle. Keeping it is something else entirely. Possessing extraordinary upper body strength, a leopard can haul prey weighing twice its own body mass high into the branches of a tree. Massive shoulder and neck muscles generate immense pulling power, allowing it to lift carcasses far beyond the reach of scavengers and rival predators. But in Ishasha, even the treetops are no longer safe. A lioness has arrived. Unlike the heavier males, lionesses are leaner, lighter, and far more agile. Weighing roughly 30% less than adult males, they possess a more flexible frame that allows them to climb with surprising ease. The leopard suddenly realizes its advantage has vanished. There is no hope of winning a direct confrontation. Then, in the blink of an eye, everything changes. Leopards possess some of the fastest neuromuscular reflexes in the entire cat family. Their nervous system can launch the body from complete stillness into explosive acceleration in only fractions of a second. Across Uganda's grasslands, another drama is unfolding. The breeding season has transformed peaceful meadows into fierce arenas of competition. Driven by surging testosterone, male Uganda kob become intensely territorial. Specialized scent glands along their legs and neck release powerful chemical signals, marking ownership and provoking rivals into violent contests. Fear is abandoned, pain becomes irrelevant. Every clash serves a single purpose: to earn the right to pass on their genes to the next generation. But while the males focus entirely on one another, another predator is watching. Nature has always favored the patient observer. A single moment of distraction is all a hunter needs. The lioness locks onto her chosen victim. She explodes from cover with overwhelming force. For the unfortunate cub, the struggle lasts only moments. In the wild, hesitation is costly. The hunt ends almost as quickly as it began. But every hunt tells a different story. If the chase begins too far away, the outcome can change completely. The moment the Uganda kobe senses danger, it becomes one of the fastest antelope in Africa, capable of reaching speeds of nearly 80 kilometers per hour and launching itself more than 2 meters into the air. It transforms the open savannah into an obstacle course for its pursuers. Instead of fleeing in a straight line, the kobe bursts into unpredictable zigzags and explosive leaps, forcing even the most experienced lions to constantly readjust their pursuit. More often than not, the hunter is left exhausted, and the prey escapes. In the Miombo woodlands and across seasonally flooded grasslands where the waters shift with the turning of the seasons, the sable antelope moves, an inseparable thread in the fabric of this ecosystem. They are not alone. At elevations between 1,100 and 1,400 meters, in a world where mud and reeds battle for dominance, the sable stands as a symbol of resilience, adaptation etched into their very being. Their presence is more than survival. It is proof of a strategy refined over thousands of generations, a living testament to evolution's quiet mastery. One of their most striking features, the great crescent horns, arcing up to 1.65 meters in the males. Not mere ornaments, but weapons. Defenses against lion, against hyena, and even against rivals of their own kind. Here, social order governs survival. Matrilineal herds of 10 to 30 individuals roam together, guided by a dominant male. His territory, spanning up to 40 hectares, is marked with scent and droppings, silent warnings to all who would challenge his reign. Other males, cast adrift, gather in restless bachelor groups, wandering vast distances in search of an opportunity, the chance to rise. During the breeding season, females carry their young for nearly 9 months before giving birth to a single calf. Hidden deep in the thickets, these fragile newborns remain concealed for weeks, safety in secrecy, until strength allows them to join the herd. Today, the sable antelope still ranges widely across eastern and southern Africa. An estimated 75,000 remain in the wild. Yet not all populations thrive. The giant sable of Angola, majestic, rare, clings to existence with only a few hundred left in fragmented refuges, a species on the edge. Sable antelope seek habitats that offer both cover and water. grasses to graze, scattered trees to shade, wetlands and riverbanks to sustain. The dambos and floodplains of the Zambezi provide precisely such havens. But they are not the only giants here. Another titan walks these lands in search of water. Alongside their footsteps, where floodwaters retreat across the Kafue Flats, another story unfolds. Here, the Kafue lechwe writes its own quiet epic of survival, an animal found nowhere else on Earth. This species, endemic to Zambia's wetlands, thrives in rhythm with the inland tides. Semi-aquatic, their legs are often submerged to the knees, the water serving as a shield against predators. When threatened, they plunge into the flood, vanishing until only their nostrils remain above the surface, a masterstroke of adaptation. Their unusual form tells the tale of their world. Long hind limbs, wide splayed hooves, and water-resistant fur carry them swiftly through the mud. Golden brown coats, pale underbellies, and fluid grace blend them seamlessly into the marshland. Here, in the heart of the wetlands, life moves to a different rhythm, where survival is written not in strength alone, but in the art of adaptation. During the breeding season, males bear their crowning glory, elegant lyre-shaped spiral horns that lend them a regal presence upon the floodplains. The Kafue lechwe gather in astonishing numbers. Thousands converge around the wetlands in a living tide of movement. Yet outside the mating season, their world divides. Young males drift into restless bachelor herds, while mothers and calves form nurturing groups of their own. From November to February, the marshlands transform into an arena. Males stake out small rises above the water, turning them into leks, stages for display. Here they posture, clash, and parade, each vying to prove their strength and claim the attention of females. Their semi-aquatic life grants them safety from many hunters of the plains. On dry land, predators hesitate, but in the water, another danger waits. The Nile crocodile, apex predator of the shallows. This ancient hunter does not rush, nor does it chase. It waits. Every movement of the river conspires in its favor. With a body stretching 5 meters, ridged armor, muscular limbs, and a tail built for sudden power, it vanishes beneath the surface. Only eyes and nostrils break the water's skin, silent, watchful. Patience is its weapon. It listens to the current, to the flicker of a fish's fin, to the whisper of reeds in the wind. When the moment comes, it strikes with terrifying precision. In an instant, jaws like steel traps snap shut, prey erased before the surface even ripples. As floodwaters retreat, fish are forced into narrow channels. The crocodile lies in ambush where the river funnels its prey, letting nature deliver the catch. When the waters rise again, it shifts tactics, lurking at the natural gateways where instinct drives fish into its path. And in rare moments, these solitary hunters reveal a hidden strategy: cooperation. In a few remarkable instances, Nile crocodiles have been seen working together, forming arcs and barriers, herding fish, and dividing the spoils without conflict. Such behavior is rare among reptiles, but here, in the shifting waters of the Zambezi, adaptability is survival. More than hunters, crocodiles are regulators of this ecosystem. By keeping fish populations in balance, they prevent collapse. By consuming the dead at the end of the dry season, they cleanse the waters, sparing the river from suffocating blooms of bacteria. In this way, the crocodile becomes not only a predator, but a guardian of balance, an ancient keeper of order in the wild heart of the Zambezi. Their presence here is no accident and no recent arrival. For millions of years, they have ruled these waters, and even today, with abundant prey and protection in place, their numbers remain strong, unchallenged rulers of the floodplain. Behind the dark, sun-warmed scales lies something far greater than biology. To the Lozi people of Barotseland, the Nile crocodile is no mere predator. It is the spirit of the mother river, the Zambezi itself, a living embodiment of silent power and eternal presence. During the Kuomboka festival, as the rising waters are celebrated, the crocodile's image endures as a symbol of transition, of flow, and of the majestic forces of nature that shape this land. In the stretch of river between Lake Kariba and Mana pools, Nile crocodiles reach their greatest size. Adults often grow longer than 4.5 meters. Some colossal individuals exceed 5.5 meters and weigh close to a ton. Living armored machines, gliding silently through murky waters. Their broad skulls and conical teeth can snap the leg of a zebra or crush the ribs of a buffalo in a single bite. Their backs are sheathed in osteoderms, thick bone plates beneath the skin that not only deflect attacks from lions, but also scatter sunlight, making them vanish into the rippling surface. Motionless on the riverbed, a crocodile can hold its breath for an hour. Inside its heart lies a unique chamber, the foramen of Panizza, which redirects blood to conserve oxygen, an adaptation that allows them to tune their bodies to the rhythm of the river itself. As the dry season begins, herds of buffalo, wildebeest, and zebra cross the river in search of fresh grazing. For the crocodiles, the current becomes an ambush ground. They do not always hunt alone, sometimes working in loose groups. One blocks the front, another the rear, while others drive prey into waiting jaws. Their bite force is among the strongest in the animal kingdom, enough to shatter bones and crack through shells. They target the throat, the belly, the jaw, vulnerable places where one strike can end a life. When prey is too large, they drag it below, hold it under until the struggle stops, then unleash the infamous death roll, tearing flesh apart in a spiral of power. This is not a chase. It is a perfectly timed ambush, born of patience, mud, and teeth. When the rains retreat, new sandbanks rise from the river, marking the start of the breeding season. Males clash in violent battles for territory, leaving scars across skulls and jaws, badges of survival and dominance. Females lay their eggs in sandy banks, where the warmth of the earth guards them through the dry months. Months later, hatchlings break free into the shallows. From their first breath, they must learn to vanish, or be swallowed by the very river that birthed them. Surveys in the early 2000s counted nearly 10,000 crocodiles in the Lake Kariba region alone. Across the middle and lower Zambezi, the population may exceed 12,000. Densities ranging from 1 to 3 individuals per kilometer of river. These numbers reflect a stable population, thanks to conservation efforts, regulated harvesting, and protection from poaching. Yet dangers remain: pollution, habitat loss, and conflict with people. Still, in places like Mana Pools and the lower Zambezi, the crocodile endures. After millions of years of evolution, descending from ancient reptilian giants, it has mastered not only survival, but dominance. The Nile crocodile is not merely a predator. It is a keystone of the river's ecosystem and a symbol of strength, silence, and patience, the very qualities that define survival in the wild. Not the vast savannah or the untouched rainforests, just tall, scattered trees with quiet, open ground beneath. That's the rugged face of the woodland. Within it, the rhythm of life never stops, moving in tune with the raw pulse of survival. The warriors guarding this land never truly rest. Or maybe they're simply fighting to carve out their own place in it. Impala and warthog stay alert, listening for the claws of the leopard. The migrating herds flee a silent fear known as the Nile crocodile. Whenever they lean down to drink, Cebus monkeys spend their lives in the high branches, hoping to make it through just one more day. Clouds of dust and mud burst into the air under the stomp of a buffalo, a herald that a battle is about to begin. The wild doesn't wait for tomorrow. Any moment could be the last. Some dive in, jaws snapping. Some give chase, others wait in still, quiet ambush. Ambush. Can you guess which creatures rule the woodlands of Serengeti? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and keep watching to see if you guessed right. The Serengeti stretches from Tanzania into parts of Kenya, encompassing an ecosystem that spans over 30,000 square kilometers. This vast area includes endless grasslands, scattered woodlands, the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, and the Masai Mara Game Reserve. The strips of woodland in the Serengeti are mainly found in the western and northern parts of Serengeti National Park, where the landscape gradually shifts from open plains to sparsely treed terrain. These woodland patches are scattered throughout the region, some stretching all the way to the Kenyan border, others trailing down slopes toward Lake Victoria, the continent's immense mirror and Africa's largest freshwater lake. This is the subtle boundary between the open savanna and the dense canopied forests. Rolling terrain weaves together low valleys and crater highlands, enriched by mineral-rich basalt soil, formed from the ash and lava of ancient volcanoes. Scattered across the grassy expanses are bare granite kopjes, stone islands rising from a sea of green. Above, the open canopy of acacia and comifera trees lets light through, while below, grasses and shrubs nourish a thriving ecosystem of over 500 bird species and 70 large mammal species. During the rainy season, Serengeti's woodlands take on a fresh, vibrant green. Daytime temperatures climb toward 27 degrees Celsius, while the nights remain pleasantly cool, around 15 degrees Celsius. Rainfall peaks between March and May, with a shorter rainy spell bringing lighter showers from November to December. Temporary streams and pools appear, catching the light like scattered mirrors across the wild landscape. This is when many herbivores gather to graze, drawing in predators that use the trees and shrubs as cover to stay hidden. The Nile crocodile stands as the most enigmatic predator of this wild landscape. When heavy rains arrive, they transform shallow basins into sprawling pools that stretch along the edges of the Gmedi River and its winding tributaries. Here, crocodiles wait with infinite patience. For weeks on end, they remain submerged beneath the murky surface, only their eyes and nostrils exposed, silent traps, biding their time. They emerge only to hunt, or to bask motionless in the sun upon sandy riverbanks. Inside a crocodile's mouth lie between 64 and 68 sharp, cone-shaped teeth, not meant to slice, but to grip and hold with unyielding strength. The bite force of a fully grown adult can reach an astonishing 22,000 newtons, enough to crush the bones of an antelope or even a buffalo. Yet despite this monstrous power, the muscles that open their jaws are surprisingly weak. Almost all of their strength lies in the adductor mandibulae, the muscles that slam the jaws shut, while the small depressor mandibulae, used to open them, remain slender and frail. When the time comes to strike, a crocodile needs only to keep its mouth open, waiting for that sudden explosive snap, a trap sprung with terrifying precision. Among these reptiles, size dictates status. The largest and oldest males dominate the hierarchy, claiming the prime basking grounds and the first rights to any kill. Their communication is as primal as their presence. Deep hisses, guttural bellows, and powerful tail slaps that ripple across the water like warnings carved into the current. With the rains, life surges back. Herbivores flock to the rivers to drink, unaware of the danger beneath the surface. The crocodiles take full advantage, lurking near well-trodden waterholes. They exploit the water's reflection to cloak their approach before exploding forward with shocking speed. Large prey stands little chance. Dragged beneath the surface, suffocated, and finally subjected to the infamous death roll, a violent twist that tears flesh apart. Often, other crocodiles join in, sharing the spoils of the kill. But these predators possess another extraordinary trait: the ability to endure long months without food. Thanks to a slow metabolism and the capacity to store energy from a single large meal, they can wait in ambush for weeks, their strength undiminished, their patience unbroken. Now, as the river surface ripples softly, a Nile crocodile lies hidden, waiting for its next victim. The crown of the savannah belongs to only one, the lion. Unlike others, it has no need for rivalry or recognition. As apex predator, it knows its place, both as hunter and as keystone in the ecosystem's balance. Within the pride, roles are clear. The dominant male defends territory and cubs, while the lionesses, sleek, precise, and powerful, carry out the hunt. From the edge of woodlands, where shadow meets open grass, they lie in wait. This threshold is the death line, the boundary every prey must cross. Here, lionesses strike with coordinated force. The male holds back, standing sentinel against threats. Yet, tradition governs the feast. Even after a successful kill, the first bite belongs to him, a reflection of the pride's strict hierarchy. Lions are unique among cats. They live in prides, complex social units bound by cooperation, hunting, defending, and raising the young together. Males, with their thick manes, impress rivals and lionesses alike. More than ornament, the mane serves as armor, shielding the head and neck in battle. The darker and fuller the mane, the stronger and more desirable the male, as studies from the University of Minnesota reveal. A lion's roar, carrying up to 8 kilometers, proclaims dominance across the plains. It defends territory, summons allies, and keeps bonds strong in the vastness of night. For young males, life is unforgiving. At 2 to 3 years of age, they are cast out, forced to wander in search of their own realm. When they seize a pride, they often eliminate rivals' cubs, driving females into estrus, a brutal but effective strategy to secure their own lineage. A lion's territory may span 20 to 400 square kilometers, each boundary marked with scent and thunderous roars. During the dry season, water holes become magnets for prey and ambush grounds for lions. They wait by rivers, rocky outcrops, or thick cover, relying less on speed than patience and teamwork. Capable of bursts up to 80 kilometers per hour, they cannot sustain them for long, making stealth and coordination essential. Diet shifts with place and season. In the western Serengeti corridor, zebras may form nearly half of their prey, alongside buffalo, wildebeest, and warthogs. In the Masai Mara, buffalo hunts grow more common. Yet lions do not simply follow prey abundance. They choose terrain that favors the ambush. Hunting success averages just 20 to 30%. To conserve energy, lions rest up to 20 hours a day, reserving their power for the cool veil of night or the break of dawn. But even rulers are not untouchable. Across Africa, lion numbers are falling. A 2025 study in conservation biology warns that prey loss is driving population declines. It is a stark reminder: if the balance between predator and prey is broken, the entire savannah could shift. And in the open grasslands, there can be only one true sprinter: the cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth, capable of reaching speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour in mere seconds, acceleration that rivals a Ferrari. This astonishing performance is made possible by a lightweight frame, a streamlined body, long, powerful hind limbs, and a tail that works like a rudder. steering each sudden turn with precision. But speed comes with a cost. Their narrow skull reduces wind resistance, yet it also leaves them with weaker jaws and shorter canines, ill-suited for prolonged struggles or defending a kill against larger rivals. To survive, cheetahs select their battles carefully, focusing on the vulnerable, the young, the solitary, the stragglers of the herd. Before the chase begins, a cheetah climbs a termite mound or low rise, scanning wind direction and the movements of gazelles. Like a sentry on watch, it waits for the perfect moment. When the distance narrows to less than 100 meters, the sprint begins. Explosive, lightning fast, but brief, rarely more than 300 meters, before exhaustion and overheating set in. For years, scientists believed overheating forced cheetahs to abandon hunts, but research at the University of the Witwatersrand revealed otherwise. Body temperatures during the chase rarely exceed 38.4 degrees Celsius, rising only after a successful kill, triggered not by exertion but by stress. Even with these limits, cheetahs are remarkably efficient hunters. In the Serengeti, they succeed in 40 to 50% of their attempts against Thompson's gazelles. A female can provide around 10 kilograms of food daily for her family, though she consumes less herself. To maximize success, cheetahs hunt during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk, when the savanna is cooler and dominant predators less active. Yet, unlike leopards, they cannot retract their claws. This gives them unmatched traction while running, but denies them the ability to climb trees or hoist their kills out of danger. Every hunt must be consumed on the ground, vulnerable to theft. Indeed, up to 12% of their kills are stolen moments after the takedown by lions or hyenas. The cheetah's existence is one of constant risk. Their reproductive rate is low, and their young are perilously fragile. In the wild, as many as 90% of cubs under 3 months do not survive. Hidden in the grass while their mother hunts, a single discovery by a predator can end an entire litter. Cheetahs roam vast territories, ranging from 450 to 1,500 square kilometers, patrolled with quiet efficiency. Unlike lions, they defend these ranges not with violence, but with scent, marking the land with minimal conflict. Here, on the endless plains, the cheetah is both the epitome of speed and the embodiment of fragility. Africa's most elegant hunter, racing against time, rivals, and the odds themselves. The woodland's thin, giving way to the vast golden openness of the Serengeti's central savanna, an endless ocean of grass rolling beyond the horizon. Here, cycles of rain and drought govern the rhythm of life. With the rains, the soil softens, grasses surge skyward, and the plains become one of the richest grazing grounds on Earth. In the dry season, the green fades to brittle yellow, water vanishes, and dust scours the land. It is in this crucible of extremes that Africa's most spectacular migrations unfold. From the shimmering edge of the savanna, a lifeline begins to move. Blue wildebeest, a river of muscle and horn, flowing dark and unbroken across the cracked earth. A migration not of individuals, but of an entire species, moving as one. Their synchronized birthing strategy overwhelms predators through sheer force of numbers. Within just a few weeks, thousands of calves are born in what biologists call a calving pulse. For lions, hyenas, and wild dogs, the abundance is a feast, but isolating a single calf amid the flood of newborns becomes nearly impossible. As the dry season tightens its grip and the grasses turn brittle and gold, the herds press onward, drawn toward the last remaining water sources. Their path is not random. It follows ancient migratory routes, etched into both landscape and instinct, carried in the genetic memory of generations. Every dawn and dusk, millions of eyes scan the skies, wary of predators. Yet their hooves never falter, pounding the earth in a steady march across the horizon. Experienced individuals take the lead, guiding the herd through pastures where water still lingers, feeding on the season's final patches of nutritious grass while avoiding the ambushes of lions. The herd itself is a living fortress. Most are females with calves, and when they rest, the young are placed in the center, shielded by vigilant mothers and other adults. At the first alarm, every head lifts, ears twitch, eyes sharpen. This collective vigilance creates a wall of awareness that drastically lowers the risk of predation. Blue wildebeest are endurance specialists. Mature adults weigh between 150 and 250 kilograms, yet their bodies are engineered for distance. Energy-efficient muscles and physiology allow them to travel dozens of kilometers each day on little water, conserving strength while minimizing heat loss. In a sprint, they can surge to 80 kilometers per hour, fast enough to leave even the swiftest predator behind. To sustain this momentum, each animal consumes around 4 to 5 kilograms of grass daily, preferring short, tender shoots that sprout after the rains. Their digestive system is built to rapidly process vast quantities of fiber, fueling the endless march. Grazing tightly together, they remain alert even as they feed. In the rainy season, fresh grass provides not only energy but also water, reducing their dependence on scattered watering holes. In this way, the wildebeest endure, a biological river of life flowing ceaselessly across the plains. The savannah in the rainy season bursts with life. Wildebeest carve the way forward, and right beside them, plains zebras ripple across the grasslands like a living tide of black and white. Their diet is dominated by grass, accounting for nearly 97% of what they consume. Unlike ruminants with complex stomachs, zebras rely on a simpler digestive system, less efficient, but remarkably fast. This allows them to thrive on tough, fibrous grasses that few other grazers can handle. In doing so, they shape the very structure of the plains. Zebras take the taller, coarser grasses first, clearing the path for wildebeest to feed on the softer shoots beneath. What remains is trimmed even closer by Thompson's gazelles, completing a layered chain of opportunity. But zebras are more than grazers. Their stripes form a shifting shield, confusing predators and providing cover for the herds that travel beside them. Living in family groups led by a dominant stallion, each with several mares and their young, they join into larger herds during migration, where vigilance sharpens. A single snort, a sharp bark, can ripple through the group like lightning, a warning of lions or hyenas in the shadows. As the dry season grips the land and waterholes shrink, zebras lean on memory and instinct, retracing ancient routes toward the last patches of grass and dwindling streams. They remain steadfast in their feeding habits, whether in open plains or on the fringes of woodland. At night, when the sun sinks and the savannah is cloaked in darkness, zebras sleep standing. Yet one always remains awake, keeping watch. Their survival is woven from connection, constant awareness, and an ability to match the relentless rhythms of the land, a harmony etched into the very fabric of time. The rainy season breathes new life into the savannah, and with it, Thompson's gazelles showcase the full extent of their survival instincts. They graze on the tender young grasses that sprout low to the ground, a gift left behind after plains zebras have cropped the taller layers. agile and swift, these antelopes can reach speeds of 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, as documented by field reports in 2025. Every leap, every sudden twist mid-run, becomes a weapon of survival. Their acrobatic agility allows them to pivot sharply, dodging predators in the heat of pursuit. Yet, as the rains fade and tall grasses rise along the woodland edges, danger lurks more heavily. Many gazelles fall victim here, ambushed while grazing. This is the most perilous time of the year. Within their herds, a clear family structure emerges, each group led by a dominant male, joined by females and their young. Constant vigilance defines their lives. A single snort from one gazelle can launch the entire herd into motion, a synchronized escape from a predator's shadow. Their diet is dominated by grasses, making up nearly 97%, as confirmed by a 2024 science study. Their digestive system is finely tuned for efficiency, extracting every ounce of energy from the soft shoots. When the dry season arrives, they travel vast distances, tracking the rhythm of rain and grass growth across the savanna. To deter predators, they employ stotting, high bounding jumps in a V-shaped posture. This display of vigor signals speed and health, a warning to hunters that the chase may not be worth the cost. Breeding season brings another remarkable adaptation. Between September and November, calves are born almost simultaneously in a phenomenon called birth synchrony. By overwhelming predators with sheer numbers, the odds of survival increase. Within 15 minutes, a newborn can stand. Within an hour, it can run. Many hide in the open grass, lying flat and motionless until strong enough to rejoin the herd. Each young life that endures the rains is more than survival. It is evolution in motion, a quiet triumph etched into the heart of the savanna. The leopard's gaze often falls upon a herd of impala. In the moments before a strike, silence hangs heavy, predator stillness set against the constant vigilance of prey. These graceful antelopes swivel their ears toward every whisper of sound, their bodies tuned to survival. In the dry season, when grasses wither, impala turn to leaves, shoots, and tender bark from low shrubs. The woodlands, rich with this forage, become their gathering ground. With the rains, the cycle shifts, lush grasses return, composing up to 90% of their diet. But as water sources contract, impala are drawn together at the last remaining pools. Here, each step is both a search for water and a calculation of risk. Our herd becomes more than a collection of animals. It becomes an early warning system. One stands watch while others feed. Ears flick, eyes scan, and even the sudden flutter of a bird can ripple alarm through the group, sending dozens of bodies quivering on the edge of flight. Scarcity drives competition. In lean times, males guard territory with greater intensity, marking boundaries and fending off rivals. A stronghold is everything, a patch of forage, a source of water, and a haven for females. Battles for dominance echo across the woodland, sharpened by necessity. Unlike the armor of buffalo or the sheer mass of elephants, impala possess only speed and agility. Their defense is motion, leaps that reach 3 meters high and stretch 10 meters forward in a single bound. Bodies like springs coiled with energy. Yet even this is not always enough. At the water's edge, a leopard's ambush unfolds in an instant. Hooves thunder, dust erupts, and the herd scatters in a storm of motion. The weakest, the young, the weary, the careless are often left behind. The herd moves on without pause. No cries, no mourning, only silence. And for the leopard, the hunt does not end with impala. Beneath the red dust and scattered clearings of the woodland, another quarry soon comes into focus. A warthog, Africa's wild pig, armed with curved tusks, feeds in a posture unlike any other grazer. Dropping to its knees, it roots for tubers and bulbs hidden beneath the hardened woodland soil, extracting life from the earth where others cannot. Unlike most burrow dwellers that retreat in daylight, warthogs are creatures of the sun. Their behavior is strictly diurnal. By night, they vanish underground, often occupying abandoned aardvark burrows. There, families huddle close, females and young forming a living barricade at the entrance against prowling intruders. When threatened in the open, escape comes not through solitary flight, but in a collective dash toward safety. Heads lowered, they plunge into a burrow, sometimes driving predators to abandon the chase rather than risk tusks and injuries. Still, warthogs remain a cornerstone of the leopard's diet. A study by Swanepoel revealed they represent nearly 9% of prey biomass and over 1/5 of successful hunts. Though smaller than many antelopes, their sheer availability makes them a tempting prize. Yet warthogs are vulnerable in ways that favor the predator. Poor night vision, scant body fat, and thin hair leave them ill-suited to darkness and cold. They must feed during the hottest hours of the day, kneeling in the dust, exposed. Ironically, this survival strategy makes them more predictable and more easily hunted. At dusk and dawn, when leopards prowl with greatest stealth, warthogs emerge from their dens. Some leopards have learned this rhythm. They wait at the burrow mouth, motionless, patient, and in that fatal instant, when a snout breaks the surface, survival turns to ambush. A crust of mud falls, tusks strain against coarse hide, and predator and prey meet in the raw equation of life. A stark, unflinching portrait of survival in the African woodland. As the echoes of primate calls fade like distant bells in the canopy above, movement stirs on the forest floor. A black-backed jackal strides through the undergrowth with quiet confidence. Its pelt is a mosaic of colors, silvery gray across the flanks, rusty brown along the sides, and a bold, inky stripe running down the spine. Tall, pointed ears pivot like radar dishes, while sharp amber eyes scan the woodland, alert to every rustle and whisper. Weighing between 6 and 13 kilograms, the jackal is small by predator standards, yet speed, agility, and cunning turn its size into an advantage. Slipping silently between branches and grass, it navigates terrain where larger carnivores cannot follow. The black-backed jackal is both hunter and opportunist. Alone or in pairs, it scours the woodland for prey. In the rainy season, when life bursts forth, the variety is endless. Beetles and termites scuttling beneath fallen leaves, fledgling birds testing fragile wings, rodents darting through tangles of roots, and hares bounding across the grasslands. At waterholes, jackals lie in wait watching for thirsty visitors. And when the scent of death carries on the damp air, they are quick to respond. With an extraordinary sense of smell, they can detect carrion from more than 2 kilometers away, ensuring they rarely miss the chance for a free meal. But survival here is not only about food, it is about family. Blackback jackals are among the few monogamous canids in Africa. A bonded pair may remain together for life, hunting side by side and raising their pups as a team. Births often coincide with the rains, when food is plentiful. While the female nurses the young in the safety of a den, her partner stands guard, patrolling the territory and fending off intruders. Their haunting howls echo through the woodland, serving both as warnings to rivals and declarations of their claim. More than predators, these jackals are custodians of the ecosystem. By scavenging carcasses, they accelerate decomposition and prevent the spread of disease. By hunting rodents, they keep populations in check, reducing the risk of crop damage and outbreaks of parasites. Recent research by the East African Institute of Ecology reveals that woodland areas with thriving jackal populations see faster breakdown of animal remains and fewer swarms of blowflies and decay-feeding insects. They are the silent cleaners of the Miombo woodland, small, resourceful, and indispensable to the balance of life. Once again, our gaze turns skyward, not to the swift silhouettes of monkeys leaping through the canopy, but to a sudden flare of color against the rain-washed sky. A lilac-breasted roller unfurls its wings, a living rainbow painted in violet, emerald, turquoise, and a soft blush of pink across its chest. Though only 36 centimeters in length, this bird commands attention with its unmistakable flight. Rolling and twisting through the air, it performs dazzling acrobatics, part hunting strategy, part courtship dance, timed with the rhythm of the seasonal rains. The downpour awakens its prey, grasshoppers stirred from cover, beetles scattered across the grass. From a low perch, the roller dives in a flash of color, snatching its quarry mid-flight. Unlike flocking birds, lilac-breasted rollers live in pairs, staking out modest territories anchored around tall trees beside open grasslands. From these vantage points, they hunt, watch, and proclaim ownership of their airspace with a sharp, echoing call. The Serengeti woodland holds its giants, even in the unforgiving grip of the dry season. Among them, the African buffalo, moving in herds that number in dozens, sometimes hundreds, advances like a slow, silent current of muscle and resolve. Beneath the scorching weight of land and sky, they do not rush. Long memory guides their steps, each path etched across generations, linking dry grazing grounds with the valley's last waterholes. Within the herd, order prevails. An experienced bull takes the lead, guiding movements and responses to threats. Females and calves cluster in the center, bound by a hierarchy maintained through subtle signals and quiet discipline. At midday, they pause beneath rare patches of shade. With bodies too massive to easily shed heat, this respite is more than comfort. It is survival. Yet hunger, thirst, and predators press against them. At the woodland's edge, leopards prowl. Their defense is unity. When one calf cries, the herd surges as one, mobbing behavior. Dozens of bodies pushing back against a predator turns hunters away. For a leopard, a wrong calculation could mean death. An adult buffalo can charge at 50 kilometers per hour, horns curved downward with the weight of sledgehammers, enough to shatter even lion or leopard. Still, calves on the outskirts remain vulnerable. It is in those twilight hours, at the water's edge. That predator and prey test each other most. Buffalo rely less on sight or hearing, instead wielding an extraordinary sense of smell to detect danger. They cluster tight, compensating for their weaknesses with sheer collective strength. Their diet, limited almost entirely to dry grasses, forces them to roam farther as the season deepens, competition sharpening between dominant males. But this strength can turn ferocious. Each year, across Africa, buffalo claim more human lives than many apex carnivores, an estimated 200 deaths annually, surpassing even lions and crocodiles. Wounded or provoked, they strike with terrifying unpredictability. Some stories tell of buffalo that return the next day to confront a hunter, memory fueling vengeance. Yet behind the horns and fierce gaze lies resilience. Their grazing clears thickets, their waste fertilizes the soil, their movements shape the landscape itself. Ecologists call them living fortresses, shields against predators, architects of the ecosystem. And here, in the Serengeti, their clash with the leopard forms one of nature's most iconic duels. One armed with persistence, the other with precision, both driven by hunger, water, and the relentless demand to survive. But even for the leopard, there exists a rival far more dangerous, a creature it hesitates to face. Following in the footsteps of the lion, the silent sovereign of the hunt, emerges the spotted hyena, a strategist in its own right. Its eerie laughter ripples across the savannah, carried on the dry wind. Sometimes it marks the triumph of a stolen feast, other times the quiet reward of a kill unchallenged. Yet always, it chills the night air. As dusk falls, hyenas materialize like shadows, trailing the endless herds of wildebeest and zebra. Opportunists by nature, they hunt and scavenge, preying on the young, the weak, or the weary. They follow the migration with patience, waiting for a single misstep, a moment of weakness, ready to strike or to steal from another predator. Each encounter is a silent battle written into the rhythm of survival. Communication is their weapon as much as their teeth. The strange, high-pitched laugh is not mere amusement. It is a coded signal, carried far across the plains. It rallies the clan when prey appears or when opportunity beckons. To the hyena, sound is strategy and laughter is power. Their society is as complex as their hunts. Spotted hyenas live under a matriarchal rule. The females are larger, stronger, and dominant. A daughter inherits her mother's place in the hierarchy, and the strength of the clan rests heavily on maternal status. This tightly woven structure ensures rank, stability, and advantage in a land where competition is unrelenting. Yet their importance runs deeper. Hyenas are the savannah's ecological cleanup crew. Their jaws exert a force of nearly 5,000 newtons, capable of crushing bone that few others dare touch. Where lions and leopards leave behind scraps, hyenas consume everything: flesh, tendon, bone, even calcium. In doing so, they recycle what would otherwise decay, returning vital nutrients to the land. Even in the brutal dry season, when hunger sharpens into desperation, they adapt. Hyenas will consume their own fallen kin, not from cruelty, but from instinct, a grim yet efficient means of survival. Nothing is wasted. Every death fuels the living. When they hunt, small groups of 3 to 5 are enough. Short, relentless chases can bring down impala, warthog, or even baboons. Combined with their unmatched ability to scavenge, this makes them one of Africa's most efficient predators. Every hyena is a portrait of cunning, resilience, and adaptation. On the savannah, the clan endures. They never falter, even when the matriarch herself falls. And then, across the golden grass, a flicker of movement betrays their presence. Camouflaged in tawny coats, Their spots catch the light, small dark signatures of one of nature's most misunderstood hunters. On the upper branches of an acacia tree, just stripped clean of its highest leaves by a Maasai giraffe, the canopy stirs. A flash of movement ripples through the lower limbs. A vervet monkey darts from branch to branch, scattering sharp alarm calls that echo through the woodland like fractured warnings. Small in stature but striking in appearance, the vervet is instantly recognizable. Its silvery gray coat frames a black face and piercing, cold, dark eyes. A long tail balances each leap across the treetops, while adult males display a pale blue patch of skin on their bellies, a vivid signal in social encounters. True opportunists, vervet monkeys thrive on variety. In the rainy season, their diet expands to include fruits, seeds, insects, and tender leaves. Their ability to forage both in the canopy and on the ground allows them to capitalize on the abundance brought by the rains. Yet abundance attracts danger. To survive, vervets rely on cooperation. In coordinated groups, they remain vigilant. At the faintest shadow of a leopard or the heavy wing beat of a martial eagle, a sentinel's shrill alarm pierces the silence. These calls not only warn their own troop, but ripple outward, alerting other species as well. Remarkably, vervets can distinguish predators, issuing different alarm calls for threats from land or sky. Within their troops, a strict hierarchy shapes movement and defense, as dominant individuals lead and safeguard the group. The rains also mark a season of exploration. Vervet troops range further afield, probing new patches of canopy and damp grasslands, lands rich in food, but also rich in risk. As their alarm cries fade into the woodland, another voice rises from the canopy. Deeper, more resonant, it rolls like a drumbeat through the trees, the call of the black and white colobus monkey. These elusive primates, known scientifically as Colobus guereza, spend nearly their entire lives in the treetops of the Serengeti woodland. Draped in jet black fur, edged with flowing white, they seem like living shadows trimmed in silk. Their long, brush-like tails act as counterweights, and though they lack a true thumb, their curved fingers hook branches with precision, making them masters of arboreal movement. Unlike the adaptable vervet, colobus monkeys are leaf specialists. During the rains, they dedicate themselves to feeding on tender, protein-rich leaves. To digest this fibrous diet, they possess a multi-chambered stomach, much like ruminants, teeming with bacteria that break down tough cellulose. Colobus groups are small, family-based units of 3 to 15, typically led by a dominant male with several females and their young. Bonds are reinforced through grooming, close resting, and their signature resonant calls. These booming voices are not only declarations of territory, but also a way of keeping contact across the thick, rain-soaked canopy. Unlike ground-dwelling monkeys, colobus rarely, if ever, descend to the forest floor. Every aspect of life, feeding, traveling, even sleeping, takes place high among the branches. It shields them from many predators, but also ties their fate to the forest itself. In the rainy season, as branches swell with leaves and extend outward, the colobus can traverse the treetops with astonishing grace, leaping up to 15 meters in a single bound, never touching the earth below. Perched high on a barren branch, a shadow surveys the land below. It is the martial eagle, Africa's largest bird of prey. With wings stretching nearly 2.5 meters, this raptor commands the skies. From its vantage point, the eagle's piercing vision sweeps across the woodland. Every flicker of movement, a young monkey, a ground bird, or an unwary impala calf, falls within its gaze. Once locked, the descent is swift and unerring, a dive like a living spear cutting through the air. In the dry season, the rising heat stirs powerful thermals, invisible highways in the sky. Martial eagles ride these currents effortlessly, gliding for hours across their territories with scarcely a wing beat. Field studies in Kenya's Masai Mara reveal the precision of their hunting rhythm. Males averaging just over half a hunt per day, females slightly less. Yet each successful strike brings several kilograms of prey, often larger targets taken by the heavier females. Their diet is diverse: young antelope, ground-dwelling game birds, and primates among their favored quarry. But their influence extends far beyond predation. By regulating populations of smaller birds and mammals, martial eagles shape the delicate balance of the Serengeti woodland, indirectly molding vegetation and prey dynamics in ways unseen from the ground. Silent, solitary, and sovereign, they are not just hunters of the sky, but keystone guardians of the ecosystem. As the apex predator of the skies, the martial eagle mirrors the leopard's role on the ground, a stabilizer of the ecosystem, a regulator of balance. Yet, this aerial sovereign now faces an uncertain future. Since 2020, the International Union for Conservation of Nature has listed the species as endangered. Habitat loss through deforestation, collisions with power lines, and escalating conflict with humans have steadily eroded their numbers. Wings that once spanned the African skies in abundance now grow fewer with each passing year. Their absence leaves not only silence in the treetops, but a void in the intricate web of life they once upheld. As the martial eagle folds its wings beneath the bare branches and the last light softens across the woodland floor, another resilient force stirs: the honey badger. Low to the ground, yet brimming with defiance, it begins its night patrol. Restless and relentless, it probes tree bases, claws into termite mounds, rips open beehives, and hunts everything from rodents to reptiles. Few species display such a boundless appetite. Insects, roots, berries, fur, bones, even venomous snakes, all fall within its reach. During the dry season, snakes can make up a quarter of its diet, a testament to its extraordinary biology. At the core of this resilience lies a molecular defense, a mutation in the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, the very site where deadly neurotoxins strike. This adaptation grants resistance to venom from puff adders, cobras, and other lethal serpents. While not invincible, honey badgers often recover from a strike within hours, resuming the hunt as if nothing had happened. Some have been seen collapsing briefly after a bite, only to rise and finish devouring the snake that nearly killed them. Their survival arsenal does not end there. Loose, thick skin allows them to twist within a predator's grasp, biting back with ferocity. Leopards, mid-pounce, have been forced to retreat under a barrage of snarls, bites, and hisses. On rare occasions, the hunter becomes the hunted, leopards driven off entirely, and when all else fails, the honey badger deploys its final deterrent, an anal pouch capable of releasing a pungent cloud, warding off attackers or disorienting swarms of bees during raids. As night deepens and the badger continues its fearless rounds, the land itself begins to change. The low canopies of the Serengeti woodlands whisper in the wind. Yet beneath the roots, fractures spread. quiet mornings of a land under strain. Once, these open forests were pathways for elephants, the great architects of the ecosystem. But the pace of change has quickened. Farmland, roads, and fences now carve the land into fragments. Since 2024, more than 1,000 square kilometers of semi-natural habitat have been converted into agriculture. Migration routes once traveled by wildebeest and zebra lie severed. Hundreds of thousands of animals are cut off from the paths they depended on for generations. Shrub encroachment has risen sharply, 42% over 15 years in areas like Maswa and Grumeti, choking the grasslands and reducing the digestible forage that herbivores rely on. Even their calving grounds are shifting as the balance of vegetation declines. The Mara River, lifeline of the plains, has grown unstable. In the dry season of 2025, its flow fell 35% lower than it was 2 decades ago. Irrigation dams and climate change accelerate the loss, pushing elephants, hippos, and even crocodiles to retreat as the banks dry and crack. Pressures mount on every side. Around 140,000 wildebeest are taken annually for bushmeat. Lions deprived of prey face a collapsing balance of predator and quarry. At the same time, roads and resorts expand with tourism, driving wildlife further away. In the Mara Triangle, wildebeest numbers have dropped below 15,000. Even the Maasai, ancestral guardians of this land, are displaced, sometimes for tourism, sometimes for carbon projects. The Serengeti still breathes, but its breath has grown shallow. Yet within the fallen leaves, signals of life endure. Along the Mara River, monitoring devices track changes in water flow, temperature, and humidity every hour, feeding data directly into the Serengeti Biodiversity Program. Since 2024, this adaptive management system has branched science and action, allowing conservation strategies to shift in real time. On the ground, progress shows. In 1 year alone, 535 animal traps were removed. Elephant poaching fell to 0. Arrests rose by over 1/3, and bushmeat seizures increased more than 3-fold. Canine tracking units played a role in nearly 40% of successful operations. Local voices echo, too. In communities bordering the woodlands, nearly 60% of residents report visible declines in poaching, thanks to cooperation between rangers and villages. In the courts, victories have been won. The East African Court of Justice once halted a highway that would have bisected the Serengeti, preserving ancient migration corridors. Each elephant step, each ripple of grass is now a testament to resilience. With greater unity and support, these upland woodlands can heal faster. The hardships faced by wildlife can be eased. The Serengeti is not yet silent. It still speaks, through wind, through hoofbeats, through the vigilance of those who fight for it. Its survival depends not only on rangers and researchers, but on all who listen, learn, and carry its story forward.